Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? So, I'm coming into this video with no face makeup on. I only have my eyes and my eyebrows done for a reason because I've been letting my face kind of settle down since, I had a big breakout I was talking about in my last video. So what I want to do for this video is I want to talk about foundations and coverage. Now I'm going to try to keep the video kind of short, but I have see if you can see, notes, my sloppy handwriting, notes after notes after notes on different foundations I have and their coverage and everything else. So what I'm going to start with is the lowest coverage foundations, and I'm going to talk about how much they are, the kind of finish they have, the kind of coverage they have, the kind of shades they have, things like that, and any claims they have also. So the first one I'm going to start with, which, if you see here, this isn't even all of them, but this is one of my foundation things, which is falling apart here. But this is, just some of what I'm going to talk about. So anyway, the first one I'm going to start with is the lowest coverage of what I have, and that will be the Rimmel Insta Flawless. Now this here can be used as a primer or a foundation. It's considered to be a skin tint. Now it's $3.89, and they only have 2 shades. So you can use this as a, like it said, primer, or like a quick, something to throw on quick if you're going to the beach or something like that. But this is what it looks like, and I will show you the coverage. It's always my easiest way, is to put it over a tattoo. Now, mind you, I'm using my fingers, so there's nothing to absorb. And you can still clearly see my tattoo, so that's why it's considered to be a light coverage. It also has a natural finish. So you'll see in a minute when I show you, which I actually have this in a darker shade than I should. But like I said, there's only 2 shades with this. So now I'm going to bring it closer. See if you can see. There you go. So it kind of has like a little bit of a sheen to it. And it doesn't like dry down matte or anything like that. And that's why it's considered to be a natural coverage. So we wipe that one off. Alright, so the next one is another Rimmel product. So I have the Rimmel Match Perfection 24-hour moisturizing, pore blurring, perfecting foundation with sunscreen in it. Sorry, it took me a minute. So this is what it looks like here. And this one has 25 shades. It's $4.99. It says it has smart tone technology, light coverage, SPF, and 24-hour moisture. So that's the claims to this foundation. Let me shake it. This one has to be shaken a lot. Otherwise it will separate on you. It doesn't matter if it's old, new. There we go. Alright. So you can see there in the top. And I took a nice amount out. Put it on my hand so you can see that. This one is also another one with a natural finish. This is more of like a dewy natural. So I'll just take what's on my finger, rub it over the tattoo. Now, this one is kind of supposed to be a, a light coverage, but I find this to be more full coverage, almost. So I guess once you spread it out, because you're not going to have it that thick on your face, but kind of spreading out my arm, sorry guys. Now you can see it's still a thick layer. So nobody's going to wear that much of this on their face, otherwise it would look cakey, and with the thickest it is, you can still see the tattoo. So that's why I consider this to be a light coverage, and also, the company says light coverage also. You wipe that off. And that, I don't know if I said it, but that's $4.99. So Rimmel's pretty cheap. No matter what you're buying from them, their products tend to be around $5 and lower. So there's that one. Now my next one is Joa Beauty. It's K-Beauty Foundation. I spoke about it a few times. Let's see, this one says liquid foundation drops, $9.50. There's only 12 shades. This is light to medium coverage. It's supposed to be hydrating, brightening, and smoothing, but you have to set it with powder. If you do not set it with powder, it will move all over your face, and I think that's why I've been having such a hard time with it, is because I'm not setting it good enough. And you can see this is like literally pure liquid, and that's why it's considered to be liquid foundation. So this also has a natural finish to it here, and I'll spread it with my finger. I try to coat across the whole tattoo. This is only 2 drops of the foundation, but now I'm going to get my beauty blender, and tap it across it. And you see how it shears out to be, you know, you can see straight through it. So that's that one. And that's also, like I said, light coverage. So the next one I'm going to talk about is the Dior Backstage. Now that's one of my very favorite foundations, and I've only had it in sample size. So let me pull one out now. Alright, so these are little sample size Dior Backstage foundations. But the regular size is $40. There's 40 shades. So I'm reading off my paper. It's buildable coverage. And that's really about it. Like, they don't have any crazy claims or anything. Except for I do believe it's not supposed to move like in hot weather and stuff like that. And again, natural finish. So this one's a little bit dark for me. I think this is 3N. Oh, this is 2N. So, I mean, it has a little thing on it. I'm just going to touch it on here. I probably won't end up taking as much off of this because it takes a long time to get it off of the little wand. But, again, just to give you an idea of the coverage. This has a really nice finish to it, and it always looks good no matter what I do with it. Now, you can see there, it's a light coverage, but it is buildable. You can build this to medium to full coverage. I mean, I've been able to, and it don't look cakey ever. So, you know, that's the Dior Backstage. Now, the next one is the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel, right here. This one is, they only have it in 5 shades that I could find. It's natural to full coverage. Right now it's on sale for $29. It did not have the regular price. And it's supposed to be anti-aging also. This is a nice foundation. When I got it, I loved it. I tried it after a little while. I did not like it. And then I tried it again and I did. So I guess it's like hit or miss. But I'm just going to put a little blob out there. And then I'll spread this around. Sorry. And like I said, this one has a natural finish also. It doesn't go fully matte. And it's supposed to be, what did I say it was? Natural to full coverage. And I could see you building this up to full coverage. But, again, like, it's still, you know, I mean, it's pretty good coverage to cover a tattoo somewhat like that. But it's still not considered to be medium coverage to me. Like, I guess, like I said, you can build it. But I don't know if this one tends to get cakier because I've never tried to build this one too much. Alright, so I'll move on to the next one. The next one will be another natural finish. It's the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And that one I also have in a sample size. They have 30 shades. It's light to medium coverage. $64 for the full size. $42 for the travel size. And let's see. So mine's a little sample one. And this is also another liquidy foundation. Like, could pretty much be in a dropper. And it says medium to full coverage. To me, this is a natural coverage. It's not like crazy coverage, but it's there. Like, it does have some coverage. There you go. But you see it has like a shine to it. Like you can see in certain lights, there's a little bit of a sheen to it. So it's kind of like a glow from within kind of foundation, which I do like that one. I have liked it a lot more lately. The first time I tried it, I did not like it, but I do like it now. Alright, so the next one will be the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. They have 40 shades. It's medium coverage. It has a natural finish, and it's $43. Now, again, this is a sample size because I received this in an Ipsy. So, this is it here. Put a little drop out on the wrist. And wait till I get to the full coverage because they're crazy. Like, you will not see my tattoo through the full coverage that I have. So here, I mean, this one has pretty good coverage, actually. But I don't end up liking the finish to this. I don't know what it is about it that I don't like, but I've never really liked this foundation. There it is there. So it has pretty good coverage. Like I said, you'll see a little bit of sheen to it. It has like a natural finish. But again, it's like light to medium coverage for me. Its claim is to be medium coverage. But yeah, it's about right. Medium coverage. So my next one would be the Too Faced Born This Way. Now, this was one of my favorite foundations. I did pay full price for this. This is $39. They have 35 shades. It's medium to full coverage, a natural finish. It's made with hyaluronic acid, alpine rose for brightening, and coconut water. It's a lot of stuff in there. But this foundation always looks really natural on me, and it looks, has a natural finish, like I said. It's a little bit dark. This is like my summer foundation. Place for that. There, you can see it on my arm there. I'm trying to put about the same amount for each foundation. So you can see, like, you know, almost exact look to it. And there you go. You see how most of these foundations I've showed you so far all have about the same coverage to them. Like this one's a little bit more than the other ones, but it's still about the same. That one's actually a little bit too dark for me right now, and I won't be able to wear that until summer. Hopefully it's still good. Alright, so the next one I'm going to talk about is the Becca Aqua Luminous foundation right here, and this one has to be shaken too. This one comes in 9 shades, which is terrible. It's light to buildable coverage, it's water infused, and it's $44. So this one's a little bit weird. You kind of have to turn the top a little bit till the button pops out. Push the button in, and then you can turn it all the way. It has this like eyedropper on it, and you can see it's also another watery foundation, just one drip. This one I feel it accentuates my pores, any of my lines. It makes any imperfections on my face really show. So it's not one of my favorites. You have to almost have perfect skin to wear this. And like a teenager or something that just wants a little bit of coverage, this would be perfect for you. So there's the coverage. It's actually one of the lightest ones so far. It's a good shade for me. It's not like too dark or anything. But that's the coverage. Now, I'm done my first page. Got through one. I still have 2 more to go. So, the next page. I have L'Oreal Pro Glow, which is Pro Glow Infallible. It comes in 12 shades, which is terrible. It's medium coverage, 24-hour wear for normal to dry skin, and it's $12.99. So this is a thicker foundation, I think, from what I remember. I don't think I've worn this in almost a year, so I don't even know if it's really that good right now, but try to get that drop out. This one's also dark. I must have been really dark when I picked these out, or really, really bad at matching my shades. So there it is there. And this one's actually a little bit more on the medium to full coverage side, I'd say. There you go. And this one also has a dewy finish to it. And you can see the dewy sheen to it. There you go. You can see it real good right there. So that's a dewy finish foundation. So the next one will be the CoverGirl Outlast. Is this one? Yeah. CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1. Right here. You can see the cat's disgusting. Sorry, guys. So this one here is $9.47. It has medium to full coverage. The big claim to this one. Now, I actually wrote big claim. I'll show you. Where did I write it? Right here. It says big claim because it claims to be a primer, a foundation, and a concealer in one. Now, I really didn't care too much for this foundation. I don't remember why, so I'll find out in a second. It's a little thicker. Medium to full coverage, of course. So, let's see. Yeah, see, this is definitely more on the medium to full coverage side. Now, that's just a tiny bit on there. One coat. Let's see if we can make that more. And see if I can show you why I didn't like it. Maybe I'll know why again. Alright, so yeah, look. You can definitely build that up. That's pretty good. But I do believe this accentuates pores and fine lines again, like the other ones that I talked about like that. And that has a natural finish. So, that's that one. My wrist is going to be so raw. I didn't want to do it on my face because my face is, you know, doing its own thing right now. So, that's why I'm doing it on my arm. Plus then, like, my arm also has a little bit of texture to it and stuff. So, you'll be able to see, like, in the wrinkly creases here when I bend my arm, if it does, like cake up in that area or something like that. Alright, my next foundation is the Revlon Candid. Right here. This comes in 18 shades, which is okay. They should have more. It's medium to buildable coverage. It has anti-pollutions and it also has antioxidants in it. This foundation is $10.99, which I do not feel that it should be $10.99 when it only has 3/4 of an ounce in the bottle. Like, this runs out so fast, it's ridiculous. Let's see. It's a medium to buildable coverage. Let's see. Alright, so that's one coat. It's pretty much, you know, I'll blend it. So yeah, that's definitely medium to buildable coverage. But I feel like you should get more out of this. And it has a natural finish. I don't feel like, you know, it should be $10.99 for not even an ounce. It's drugstore. It's not, you know, Too Faced or Tarte or Estee Lauder, which is my next one. Now, I only have a sample of the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I didn't care for this one. I know a lot of people rant and rave about it, but I did not care for this. And I don't know if maybe it's the color, but it was just something about the way it looked on my skin that I did not like. So this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It has a natural matte finish. It comes in 56 shades, which is amazing. It's $42, medium to full coverage, 24-hour wear, oil-free, waterproof, shine and oil control, won't clog your pores, won't rub off, won't look gray on deeper skin tones, which is a really good thing, and it's dermatologist tested. Big mouthful. So, with this one, I'm kind of going to have to watch it and pour it out a little bit. There we go. Now, I feel like this one accentuated stuff on my face, maybe because it's matte, but it's supposed to be a natural matte, so it shouldn't be that bad, but I'm going to bring that up into the creases of my hand, see if it does it there too. Alright, so yeah, that's a little bit higher coverage. And let me see if I can show you on here if I get closer. If you watch the creasing of my arm here, and it's not dry yet, but you see how you can really see the creasing a lot? Now imagine that on my forehead. And that's why I really didn't like it. Now it didn't dry down. It's drying down. Like it says, it's natural matte, so it will, like that shine will go away. But I don't want to make this video too long waiting for it to dry, because that one takes a little bit longer to dry on me, personally. Like, all this is my opinions, except for the stuff I read off their websites. Because I didn't just take this off, like, any website. I made sure for each of these foundations, I went to the maker's website. Like, for Marc Jacobs, I went to Marc Jacobs' website, and I wrote everything down from their site. Like, Maybelline, I went to theirs. Like, I'm sure you get it. I don't have to keep going with that, but next one was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, which is a lot of people's favorites here. I do like this foundation. Now, it's medium to full coverage. It's only $5.99. It's tested under 7 different lights for camera-ready foundation, it says. So, this one I kind of like the spatula on it. So I'm just going to tap the spatula in there. So it's medium to full coverage. And this one also has a matte finish. I think it's more of a natural matte on me personally, but I'm going to turn this way. This one definitely is medium to full coverage, like without fail. Every time I put this on, it's covered a good amount of everything on my face. And you can see how, compared to some of the other ones, it just goes like perfect with my skin because of the kind of, how they said it was tested under 7 different lights. That's what it does. Like, that's what that means. You can't see where the foundation stops and my skin starts. So the shine will go down as it dries. You can see it's already going down a lot. Now it will settle into lines, which you'll see right here. Let's see. See how you can see the lines are accentuated? But I don't mind it if it gives me a good coverage and it looks good on my skin. Alrighty, almost on this page too. Now the next one is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is one of my favorite foundations. Here it is right here. I always shake these. I just feel like you have to. So let's get this one out. Yeah, my wrist is already raw from wiping it. Come on. Whoa. Alright, I just made a mess of myself. I have 2 more to test like this too. Oh, 1 more, I'm sorry. So there's kind of a lot on my arm. So to make it fair, I'm going to take some of that off. Because I only put a drop for all the other ones. So I'm going to wipe all the excess off from that. Now it's a drop. I'm going to blend that in real quick. This one was medium to full coverage. It has 32 shades. It's for normal to oily skin, and it's $7.99. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Now you can see already that the finish is going down to matte. It is medium coverage. It can be built to full coverage. I do it all the time with this foundation. But you can see also that one, like you can't really see where the foundation starts and my skin starts. So, I mean, that's a good foundation to me. This wipey is getting ridiculous. I'm going to have to get a new one. Alright. So that was... Oh, I have one more on this page. I'm sorry. Now, the next one is the Maybelline Age Rewind. Now, this one has a lot of good stuff in it for your skin. Wherever it is. Here it is. I do not like the tool that's on top of it. It's got this nasty sponge that all the foundation soaks into, and I feel like it's so dirty. And, like, I've sprayed it down with alcohol and cleaned the top off quite a few times. But... So this has 12 shades, which is terrible. It's medium to full coverage, and it's $12.99. So, give it one twist, just to be fair. That should be about a drop. This is more to the full coverage side, I do believe. This is made with a bunch of different things, like antioxidants and stuff, just like the Candid. Maybe it's my sponge. It's a different spot. Anyway. That looks like a light coverage to me, but it can be built, and it can be built to full coverage because I have done it before. So that's the end of that page. I got one more to go. And these are all just my personal foundations, so. Oh, the next one's on a full page either. Alright, so the next one would be the Maybelline Dewy Smooth Foundation, right here. This one is medium to full coverage, $7.99. They have 24 shades, which is okay, I guess. It has SPF in it, and it's for normal to dry skin. So this is a dewy finish. The Maybelline Dewy Smooth, this is a dewy finish. The last one had a dewy finish also, I think. Or a natural matte, I'm sorry. This is dewy. Alright, so it's another pour one, so I'm going to take some off because it poured out a little excess. Just dab that in. This one stays very dewy until you set it. And then once you set it, it still has a little bit of shine through it. It's medium to full coverage again. There you go. So that one I don't have to really wait because it's dewy. Looks the same when it's wet as it does when it dries. It doesn't oxidize, anything like that. Wait till I get to full coverage because they're coming up. And I have some crazy full coverage foundations. Not many, but the ones I have are really good. Alright. So the next one I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Stick, which is this one right here. This is a stick foundation. They have 8 shades, which is horrendous. It's $8.99, medium coverage. It has an anti-shine powder core. It's supposed to minimize your pores and be shine-free for 10 hours. So, that's what it's talking about. See if you can see the core. There you go. See how the core is lighter? That's what they mean by that. And it actually is a powder core. You don't have to set this. You can leave it as is. I only have like 2 or 3 stick foundations, so this is definitely medium to full coverage. There you go. This has a natural matte finish, so it still has a little sheen to it, but it will be matte. And this actually looks really good on your skin, but I don't feel that it lasts that long. That's my personal opinion again. So anybody who likes these, if I said something bad about them, don't take it personal. This is for my skin and my skin type. I do have different kinds of skin types on this list for each different foundation, but I mean, this is only on my mature skin. Alright, so the next one would be the Maybelline Super Stay Stick, which is this one. It's medium coverage, $11.99. It comes in 16 shades, which is not really that great. It's a multitasking foundation and can be used for contouring also. I've used a lot of this one, but there's not much in it when you get it. Like, literally, there's not much more than that. And for this one, I actually am going to use the little sponge on the other side just because it comes with it. So I guess that would give you the better coverage. So, let me just move that around. This is very drying, so I would say use a hydrating primer underneath of it. And it's supposed to, it looks terrible, I think. I mean, I guess on camera it doesn't look that bad. But in person it doesn't look that great at all. It looks very orange. Maybe it's just the color. But this is supposed to be a matte, yeah, this is supposed to be a matte finish and medium coverage. So it's about right. I would say it's light to medium coverage, but it is buildable. But it will get cakey quick. Alright, so my next foundation. Here comes the full coverage. So I only have two really good full coverage foundations. They're both matte, and they're both full coverage. Alright, so the first full coverage foundation I have is the LA Colors, right here. This is the Truly Matte. It's high pigment and full coverage, very thick, and there's only 14 shades, which is not good. Matte finish, and it's $6. So you get a lot for your money. I mean, you get almost an ounce and a half. It's 1.35, so it's a little bit off from an ounce and a half. It's very thick. Yeah, you can see that. Like, it's kind of like goop. So, same thing. I'm going to take my beauty blender. And this is full coverage. Like, this does have a little bit off of a tone. I don't know what it is about the tone to this. I don't really care for it. But, I mean, that's pretty full coverage. Where'd it go? I have like 100 foundations in front of me, so looking down to find one is impossible. Now I'm going to put a tiny bit more out here. I put a tiny bit more out just to show you how full coverage this really is. I'm sorry, my camera cut out. Alright, so there you go. I'm going to spread this around. Like, this can be your cover all. I have one that's actually better than this. So there you go. That's that. Two little coats. It does go totally matte, and you will be able to tell it's matte. It does get into your lines a little bit with most matte foundations. It does. If you use a little bit of a hydrating primer, it won't do that as bad. So that's that. See it in the crease? That's what I was talking about. So, I mean, it's full coverage foundation. Definitely full coverage. Now my last one. Now I actually had to look this up to make sure they still sell it before I did anything because it's so old. I'll tell you what though, being old, it still works perfect. This is the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Now again, it's a matte finish. It's just a soft matte finish. Super thick gel, full coverage, soft matte. They only have 12 shades. And it's a hydrating gel foundation. So this is extremely super thick. I'm going to get close to show you. Like, this is almost disgusting thick. Like, this looks like a winter cream that you put on your feet or your hands. It doesn't look like a foundation. But I will tell you what, there is nothing. Like, you see that little dot, that's less than I've put on with all the other foundations. Wait till you see the coverage with this. I could not believe it when I used this the first time. Like, that teeny tiny dot, that's not even doing it justice on camera right now. Where'd it go? I'm going to build it up to the same amount I put on the other, from the other foundations. I was trying to do less to show you, but I guess you have to do a regular amount. Alright, so, here, as I was saying when it was cut off, this is the fullest of full coverage. This is the thickest foundation I've ever used. And, I mean, look at that. One more coat, a second coat, would cover my tattoo entirely. Like, that's the same dot that I put on every other one, and you can barely make out my tattoo. Now, I am going to put another coat on there just to show you, because I want to give this justice on how full coverage it really is. Same thing, just a pearl-sized dot. And I have built this up on my face. It will get very cakey if you do not watch your layering. Make sure you powder it good because it might move. But it's fullest of full coverage, so you have to understand that's why. There you go. Now that's absolutely unbelievable that, a cheap foundation, $10.99 can cover anything. I do believe you do have to get this through the Maybelline website because I don't think anybody else has it. But, look at the coverage. And it's another matte coverage. It just takes a little while to dry down. If you put powder over that, you're not going to see nothing under it. So, that is my list of foundations, the coverage, and any explanation for them. If you are looking for full coverage, I would go with the Maybelline Dream Velvet or the LA Colors Truly Matte. They're the ones that I found to be the fullest of full coverage that actually don't look too bad on your skin. Now, my favorite medium coverage is always going to be the Too Faced Born This Way, because the way it looks on my skin, it makes it look like my skin, but 10 times better, but with coverage. For light coverage, Rimmel always does best. I like Rimmel's products for very light coverage. This is one of my favorites here for light. And my other favorite medium coverage is the Wet n Wild. And now that my wrist is red, sore, irritated, and feels like crap, I am done my video. So I hope you guys got some kind of help out of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next. Bye, guys.